And welcome to our final match of the stream for round 4 in Tasmanian Rugby Union. It's our Premiership division first grade match between the Glenorchy Stags over there under the post and the Taroona Penguins, who are running onto the field as we speak. Had some great rugby out here today. The weather is perfect, classic Hobart winter, almost winter rugby weather. No rain, light breeze is almost gone now, the breeze, and the sun's shining. It'll be a little bit of a challenge, that sun, as it often is, particularly in the second half if you're running into it. You can see the long shadows of the players on the field as that sun dips down. And I've got Ollie Bird back with me again for some commentary. Thanks, Ollie.
Thank you, Deon. Should be a good game. A lot of some words said before the game and some good rivalries between Glenorchy and Taroona.
Yeah, and they certainly, there always has been strong rivalries here. But yeah, look, Glenorchy, I know they're a little bit undermanned at the moment. I think you can see that on the screen there, they have 3 reserves listed, but I noticed that Sia Toalava has actually moved into the front row in that forward pack. And I think Naufahu, Naufahu's still in there. Hasty's gone to the second row. And missing one out of there. Not sure who it is who's out at the moment, though, for Glenorchy. But they're, struggling with numbers at the moment. And Taroona, I guess, aren't struggling with numbers across the board, being able to field 2 teams, but certainly their bench will consist of, and in fact their run-on side will consist of a number of players who've already had a run in the earlier reserve grade division. So just looking out there, players coming towards the bench. Eddington's already had a run.
Callum Blowfield.
And Blowfield's already had a run. There's a few. Kazarine's already had a run. Noble's already had a run. So there's some young fellas out there who are filling positions in 2 teams, which is great. We will see Taroona with the kickoff through the foot of Noah Kazarine, sitting there at the moment with the ball in his hands. And we will be underway very shortly. Glenorchy, so far this season, after 3 rounds, they've had 1 win, a couple of losses. Taroona, 2 wins and 1 loss. Ball's tapped back there nicely, and great chase there by Scott Eves to pick up that tap back ball, and Taroona win their kickoff. So a nice start to the Penguins. Lean with the ball, picking and driving. And next one around, Tanaka Harrison. Ball comes now from Eves to Kazarine. Well taken, I think, by Lovell. And Taroona just easy phases. Ricard Daniel, supported there by Loper. And good tackling in there by Glenorchy. They're not letting Taroona make any easy meters, and I think they might have even turned it over. No, Eves manages to get it, gets his way out of there. Kazarine pushes out to Eddington, to Smith. Good option there, backwards there to Burke. Playing in that second row. And now the ball comes, well taken by Dewindham just to hang on to that ball. And no one there, Eves has a look, but he ducks around, finds his way past Ploranta. And Taroona maintaining possession into quite a number of phases now. Burke hits it up. Finally gets it back into a position where his team can take it. They got some numbers out here. Great tackle there. Leroy Hart come flying in on Daniel. But Taroona have got the support they need. Lean hits it up. Gets the offload away into the hands of Harrison. And
good defence early on there from Glenorchy. Some good one-on-one defence.
Yeah, very settled, and it took them a while there. The discipline was good. until finally, though, they've given away a penalty in that situation for not releasing. And Kazarine will take a shot by the look of it. So solid start to Taroona. Glenorchy have done well in their defence thus far, but giving away penalties in this kind of zone is going to cause points against you all day. And now Kazarine's got a pretty good boot. Certainly doesn't have the longest of kicks, but he's got a pretty good radar on him, and he should put this one over the dot. Saying that, hopefully, hopefully I don't put the mockers on him. Wonder what that means, the mockers. It's also a game happening behind us today between Harlequins and Devonport. I'm sure there'll be some noise there. Oh, he's munted the kick, hooked it badly, and yep, those mockers, whatever they are, were on Noah Kazarine.
The bad juju.
that sounds better. All right, 22 dropout. Lovell with the ball, Michael Lovell. Got the 22 dropout, just goes downfield. Kazarine's got it, directed by Eves to come this way. Burke, Watts, has got great ball there to Holmes, who's taken by Hart, or taken to ground by Hart. And the ball pops back. Just some interesting lines from Taroona. Great hit on lean by number 8, Aaron Lovell for Glenorchy, and that's a turnover. Glenorchy with their first chance now with the ball in hand. Start driving the ball back. Taroona need to back pedal. And they've got no one long on the wing, on this near wing. If Michael Lovell has a look, he's got a really good opportunity here for a 50-22. But he runs wide and then straightens up. Makes it through the first tackle of lean and then takes a couple with him. And Glenorchy, much fiercer approach to these rucks than Taroona did when they had the ball.
Good tackle by Piggy there, Jordan Eddington.
Nice tackle out there. I think lean going low and Eddington taking the high shot, being able to push, I think it was Cluck back maybe. Now Fahu there with the ball. And again, really solid tackle from Ruben McConaughey.
The Buffalo.
Lovell pushes it off to Clark, chopped down. And a great tackle there by Burke. Lovell runs wide. Eddington's got to get him, and he doesn't. But a nice tackle by Holmes. And penalty advantage going Glenorchy's way.
Good work, Leroy. Kai. Good hustle, Kai.
Not rolling away, I believe, there. And Glenorchy looking dangerous. Michael Lovell causing some headaches thus far.
Yeah, they're showing some good intent, aren't they, with their ball running so far.
And look, we've got two pretty different fly halves here. Noah Kazarine's a bit more of a director in terms of not taking the ball to the line. He's not a big guy, and he doesn't often take the ball into contact. He'll normally use his outside players to do that, whereas Lovell loves to run at the line. And he's very dangerous when he does. But just a little bit slow here. Passes it out to Williams. Shifts it off to Searle. And ball's been turned over. Big solid hit on Blowfield. Or Burke rather. And Kazarine with the left boot there. Manages to just find touch. Not a long way outside the 22. And we'll see Blaranda come in with the line-out throw. Okay, the throw coming. See it go to the front to Cluck. Great competition there. Well held onto by Cluck. Hands thrown in the air by Taroona players. Lovell goes across field. Kazarine doesn't get him. Oh, neither does Blowfield. And then finally, he's tackled out there by Dewindham from fullback, filling that gap. So Taroona got to make their line speed a lot better than that. Smith to Lovell, Aaron Lovell. And again, Taroona not tackling. Their defence is a little bit flaky at the moment. Smith pushes it wide, finds Hart. He straightens up. Burrows through, getting close now. Smith quickly shifts it back, but that's knocked on. Kazarine will grab it. And he has a look. Got some numbers out there, Taroona. And if they can get around the outside, as they can, the speedster Noble might make it through. Blowfield does a good job to stay on his feet and wait for some support. And now the support's there. So good running from Taroona out of defence. But they're going to have to make sure they look for some support over that side because there's not a lot of forwards in there. They're all standing midfield. Daniel dishes it off to Noble. He's got the pace here to make it on his own. Steps back inside. Can he get past Searle? Dishes it off to Dewindham, who needs the support of Eves, and he gets it. And some great running by the outside backs. Followed up by the halfback, who eventually scores after some great footwork over there from Matthew Noble and Ish Dewindham.
Yeah, that was great. I think having Ricard and Piggy in the forward pack, they're quite mobile from the sides of the ruck.
I'm sure Ricard will love you calling him mobile.
Mobile, yeah.
But, yeah, look, at Kai Searle at fullback for Glenorchy, props to you. You did he did a great job there to shut Noble down, but the support of Dewindham just allowed Noble to dish it off. Yeah. Dewindham, if he had been half a metre further forward, he wouldn't have got that because he nearly overran that pass.
Yep.
But good work between those guys out there. Glad I'm not one having to chase them around the paddock. So after a really great foray in attack from Glenorchy, looking really dangerous, Taroona have essentially taken that ball and an exit strategy of passing and running took them all the way to the other end. So only a couple of phases involved in that. That's pretty good work by the Taroona backs. Kazarine with the kick, taking his time.
It looks like we've had a change. Dan Davis-Reid has come onto the field for Alistair Burke.
Wow, already.
Alistair looking uncomfortable on the bench, holding his ankle or his leg.
He did get taken, I think, in a pretty solid two-man hit when he hit that ball up a little while back. So Burke, yeah, looking, just having a look on the bench. He looks pretty sad and sorry for himself. Head down. That's
a big loss for Taroona with Alistair coming into the squad after Edward Salter being injured on Thursday at training.
Absolutely. Yeah, and a few other potential first or not first string backs, but reserves out at the moment. Chris Noble, I'm sure you're watching at home, Mr. COVID. So he was also named to be with a reserve on this team. So Taroona now are one down. Mind you, Glenorchy are pretty short there, a couple short on their line. So ball kicked down, forward gathers, nearly juggles that, and then a funny kick off the shin straight to Watts. But forward ends up taking that from Watts, and then the ball's given to Noble, who boots it downfield. That's a good spot.
Good
he's got some pace. Searle gets it, and Noble just corrals him. But that ball hasn't gone in, and now Eves is back there waiting. He'll want to link up with his line over this side. There's a massive overlap on this side of the field. Taroona need quick ball to the left. If someone can call it. Quick ball. Ball goes to Eddington, needs to get it out to Blowfield. Blowfield needs to get on the outside and pass it, but the defence is too good. And just a couple of slow passes with that back line being a bit flat have allowed Glenorchy to get across in cover defence. Great hands by Michael Smith. See that from him pretty regularly. He falls into that position as first receiver pretty often, and he loves to fling a pass, and that's not a bad option either to swing it that way. Loper with the big pass out to Noble, who's really clear, gets around forward. Oh, brilliant tackle there. I think Kai Searle in the background again. Another try saver. Well, the last one wasn't quite a try saver, but certainly that one was. Ball goes to Eves, who hangs on to it, and he's got a double. Whoa. The Englishman, Scott Eves, new to the Taroona club this year. Dr. Scott, I believe.
Yep, Dr. Scott. Scotty Too Hottie, as we've been calling him.
As he's put 2 over already.
That's a shame for Glenorchy. Kai Searle again with a fantastic tackle. He is a very good defender out back.
But yeah, Taroona are certainly showing some flash out wide. And again, a great kick and pressure there from Matt Noble. And then good run down there and great work by Eves around the fringes of that ruck to just find a little bit of space and to score pretty much untouched. So after Glenorchy having their tails up, Taroona have now put on 2 pretty quick tries, and they'll be excited to see them able, making some space and being able to score some tries around the outside. Glenorchy under the post down there. We won't quite see them, but again, close huddle. Wobbly kick from Kazarine doesn't make the distance.
That's another thing with Ed Salter being away today. He usually takes those longer ones, so that might come into effect later in the game without another kicker on the field.
Yes, that can be tricky. I know, certainly when I look out, I know Glenorchy, I've got some good kickers. Lovell. Leroy Hart's not a bad kicker either if he's in touch. I'm not sure how much rugby he's played this year or in recent times, but it's great to see him out on the field. Sadly, we don't have all 5 of the Hart brothers out there. There's only 3 today, with everyone's favourite Hart, Theo, injured at the moment. And Ty Hart also not playing. So, the bounce, Noble.
Wow.
He had a similar try with it wasn't a good bounce for him, but a rotten bounce for his opponent in the reserve grade game, and that ball just sat perfectly for him. Eddington with the long kick, and Searle gets in good position there, and oh dear, the bounce for Noble. He's got the ball on a string today as Matt Noble. And a little bit of celebratory dive. I'll tell you what, Jordan Eddington's actually run the 60 metres after he kicked that to celebrate. I hope he doesn't gas himself completely. But a 3rd try in very quick succession. Now Taroona really just putting it on.
Glenorchy just been starved of the ball so far.
That's right.
Looks aggressive when they've had it, but it's all Taroona.
So Kazarine with a kick right in front of the posts. It's nice when your team score tries there if you're the kicker. And there we go. So Taroona push ahead, 19-0. Glenorchy shell-shocked at the moment. They're in a tight huddle now down the end. They still haven't moved, and now they'll come back. It's not like Glenorchy have played badly. Taroona are just exploiting those wings a little bit. And, that ball could have bounced either way. It could have bounced straight into Searle's hands and given him a great opportunity to counter-attack. But in actual fact, it just bounced nice and high in the opposite direction and ended up making him look a bit silly, which is not his fault. Always as a fullback, hate those rotten bouncing balls. And the ground that we're playing on is pretty uneven too, so you never know where it's going to go. Great throw there from Glenorchy coach G Unit, Sean Rogers. Didn't hear me. Got a giant can of Monster in his hand. And here comes the kick. That's a nice kick again too. No one's going to get, Eddington is going to get there. And he's really hitting a great tackle by Aaron Lovell. But Taroona onto that, and quick ball. They're working it now. They really want to use these wings. And Rob Holmes has now got around, looking for someone. Holds it up nicely. Eves, can he get a 3rd try? He ducks through, he dummies. Oh, they haven't got him yet. He's got the try line in front of him. Who does he find? Callum Blowfield, I think, was in support. Eves nearly did it himself. And the ball comes out. Daniel's got it, gets around the outside. Awesome
Brilliant
tackle out there by Glenorchy. I'm not sure who that was. Ryan Ford maybe. And fumbled on the ground. But I'll tell you what, Taroona are moving the ball from side to side very quickly. And Scott Eves made a dashing attempt there to score his 3rd try. But great cover defence in the end in desperation for Glenorchy.
That was a great scramble, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that tackle might have been Ryan Ford just getting across. Managed to get around the ankles of Daniel out there, and that just disrupted the movement. But Taroona are certainly looking to use those wide wings. I think Sam on our camera is going to be zigzagging backwards and forwards, trying to keep in touch with where the play is.
Is this the first scrum of the day? It is.
It is.
This will be interesting to see. I've got quite a heavy forward front row in Taroona. Sam Loper, Ruben McConaughey and Mikey Smith.
Yes, very experienced forward pack too. And look at them, there they go, driving through it, and they've turned it over. So you called it. And they'll milk this. Eves is just leaving it there. Penalty advantage now comes to Taroona. Eves gives it off to Dewindum, who meets a solid tackle.
Oh, he's got it down.
And he scored it.
Wow.
So great work by the Taroona fullback there to manage to get that ball over the line. It's hard to tell from the distance and angle that we're at there what happened, but another quick try. And Glenorchy are really going. That one's really going to hurt because their cover defence over there was great. Their defence, was able to turn that ball over, but then they got absolutely destroyed in that scrum by Taroona, and that's going to be very disheartening for Glenorchy. Kazarine with the kick again. So that score sitting now 24-0 with the conversion to come.
That's a far better strike.
It's not a bad kick, but just goes to the right. Quick check of the scores around the state if you're watching live and you don't want to know, close your ears. Harlequins behind us, 3 points with a penalty, and the Bulls are on 2 converted tries, 14. Launceston currently just with their noses in front of Burnie, 7-5. And we've got the score here of 24-0. And down at Sandy Bay, in the upper class battle down there between the Utahs and Hobart Hutchins Lions. Score currently in favour of the Lions, 5-0. And now we have Lovell with the kick. He goes deep this time. Maybe figuring that if they've got to run a bit further, they might not be able to score as quickly as they have the last 4 tries, Taroona. Taroona's work at the breakdown's been really good. The support play's been great. And Kazarine goes, yeah, there's no one back there. Didn't quite get onto his kick. Leroy Hart slow to get back, and Blowfield's got the pressure on him. It's a good little goose step from Leroy, but Blowfield's got him. And Wakefield is back there to help out. Lovell takes it to the line. Glenorchy with a rare opportunity with the ball in hand. He just runs sideways, and they get around though. Taroona are going to have to work that out, how to stop him, because he's just running around the entire inside backs. Smith takes it off, gives it over to... Oh, bam! I'm not sure who that was. Wakefield possibly with that ball. And he's slow to get up. That was the high tackle. I didn't see who that was from. Who came over the top?
That was Ant Lean coming over the top of that one, I think.
Ant Lean, he'll love that. He hasn't played a lot of rugby in the last couple of years, and he's only just finding his way back in, and that's his bread and butter. So that might be the thing that really ticks Ant back into gear and gets him back into his former form after hip problems for a good 12 months he's been out of rugby, so it's great to see him back out. He's partnering.
Had quite a solid pre-season this year, and he seems very keen. And it'll be good to see James Holman back with him again later on, the Smash Brothers.
That's right, I think James is on the bench today. He had a pretty serious head knock a few weeks ago. Big gaps here with Eves, and yeah, Kazarine just looks for the space. That's a nice kick too. Searle's not going to get there on the full, and it's bounced past him. So now he's got a little bit of pressure, but it's a good kick.
Great clearance kick.
And that's out, so it'll be a Taroona line out. Oh, that's not what happened at all. Evans is, the ball was well over the line, and Eves had both feet over the on and over the line when he caught that ball. But what's happened has happened. Glenorchy miss, and the ball bounces Taroona's way. Kazarine can't pick it up, so it'll be play on. An advantage. Wakefield's had his hands on the ball a couple of times. Good bustling run. Smith flicks it out wide. Williams tries to get it out to forward, but that's a mess, and they'll come back to the knock-on from Kazarine in the middle of the field. It's interesting when with there's some new laws around kicking the ball into touch and being able to refield it, but if the ball passes the plane of touch and the player who catches it is in touch, then it's the kicking team who are responsible for having kicked that out. Certainly from the angle that we had, that looks like what happened, but I'd have to say I'm very pleased to be able to look at some contested scrums in this match. Need to really resolve that issue with players not being, or teams not being able to field a scrum who are allowed to have contested scrums.
Well, it just changes the game, doesn't it? It's completely different having uncontested scrums.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, that game earlier, you know, East, they've got a very experienced group in their forward pack, and you know, and it'd be great for them to have the opportunity to compete at a scrum, but unfortunately they don't. Great work by Taroona. Eves Delder's offside there. He's come around and picked that ball up when the ball was still in the ruck, even though there was no one on their feet there, and been penalised 10 metres too.
Oh, bit of talk from Taroona, not good.
No, and it's pretty common, unfortunately, that referees cop a bit of an earful from the Penguins in the blue. So they're not going to be tolerant of that at all. And Glenorchy win that one. Good throw from Blaranda. Found Cluck. Ball on his inside to Williams, who's taken in a pretty solid tackle there. Smith goes left. Not a lot of players out there for Glenorchy, but they get around the outside with Pepera finding some space. So Glenorchy have stemmed that flow of tries from Taroona, and now they're looking to put one back of their own. Ball comes now to Russell, and he makes a lot of ground there too.
Just Dan Davis-Reid going a little bit too high there in the tackle.
That's right. That Russell certainly had a lot of size advantage there, and just needed to chop him down. Oh, Mikey Smith, here we go. And we're coming back for an offside advantage, but great work by Mikey Smith and the number 27 there for Taroona, interfering there. You might have wondered why Taroona are wearing red and white socks today. They have their Ladies' Day celebration today, but there's also a fundraiser. I'll just mention it after this phase of play. We don't want to distract from the game. So Glenorchy now taking that ball in, going the tap, and it's just getting messy out there. They really need to settle down. Aaron Lovell now, he goes the kick, and that's going to go in, and it's kicked all the way through. So should be a choice here. Go the 22 dropout, and Eves knows the laws, and he's onto it quickly. Oh! Ishtuindum.
Great tackle.
Hitting a blindsiding tackle from Leroy Hart. Leroy's come off worse for wear out of that tackle, but the turnover's good. Big stinger for Hart, and Michael Lovell goes quickly. Lean comes in and stops him.
Some great contact out there.
And she's hotting up. Yeah, Hart's pulled his shoulder out in that hit. And Dewingham's just ridden it and is back up and in the play. Now he might have time to breathe, but we're coming back for a penalty advantage. Hart's just shaking that out and getting back on the field.
I feel sorry for Hart in that one. I think tackling Ish is like tackling a bag of elbows.
That's right. And they go the quick tap. They don't want to scrum. And from that position, they need more than 3 points. Watts there disrupting that, but falling on the wrong side, so had to get out of the way. And then Taroona offside again. And then well stolen there by Loper, but he's offside. And Aaron Lovell goes the quick tap. Swings left, goes straight. He's very close now. They go left. Smith's got it, but he's bundled up, and we're offside again. Taroona are going to see someone in the bin very shortly. So if Glenorchy don't score from this, that's probably going to result in a yellow card to someone from Taroona. And stolen, no. Glenorchy still with the ball. Smith comes in, throws it wide, finds Cluck. He finds Williams, who spins. A lot of spinning going on. Toalava there with the ball, and Michael Smith all over that.
Might see
and I think referee's having a chat with Lean. Must be captain today. And I think there's the warning. One more penalty and they'll go. And while we're settling here, just talking about the red and white socks at Taroona. The fundraiser today, it's an annual event that the club holds. This year they've chosen the Tasmanian charity Engender Equality. So that's the efforts there. And Glenorchy putting on the pressure. And they manage finally to put some points on the board from some great work under there. Trying to see who the try scorer might have been. Might be able to hit a quick replay there. No, you guys can all you can all watch the replay at home. Just put your finger on the little dot at the bottom there on YouTube and scrub it back a little bit. You'll be able to see who it was. Maybe you can shoot me a message and let me know. Possibly. We'll check it on Rugby Explorer and find out. So great work there from Glenorchy. Finally getting some points on the board. They really did a good job there putting the pressure on.
I think they needed that there as well, didn't they? They had some good momentum coming into the Taroona half, and they're running quite hard, so game on.
Yeah, and the kick out here from Lovell. Here it comes. It's a good strike. And it's a good kick.
Great.
Nice work. So Kazarine just struggling at the other end from out wide, whereas Lovell able to put those points on and do a good job. So Glenorchy will want to hit back again here. They're definitely a never say die team. Great kick there again on the replay. Great, never say die, Glenorchy. 24 points down to them means just they've got a harder hill to climb, and they'll climb it indeed.
Yeah, they're a very tough team, very tough group of boys. And
so a bit of lack of communication out there, but it worked out all right for Glenorchy. Although Smith now comes in, and he's got someone there running. Might have been Williams hitting that ball up from flat-footed very in close. But great defence in there. I think Lean doing the hard work on the bottom there again. Again, just looking at Taroona there, throwing the arms up in the air, asking the question, is that a penalty? It's this thing that the referees don't like. And, being told how to adjudicate. Something they just need to be very careful about the way they function in the game. Already seen them penalised 10 metres once for talking too much to the referee. After Glenorchy scoring that try and making the score up to 24-7, Taroona now in a very close situation with their own line out being thrown in by Loper. Ball goes to Lean. It goes over Lean's head though, and taken by McConaughey at the back. He's very close to the line. And they go back to the blind. A few out there. Loper on the wing. Wasn't quite ready for it, I don't think. And the ball's turned over. Loper wasn't expecting that ball, I don't think. He was quite flat-footed and ended up having some great defence up against him. So
yeah, he's a hard man to stop from 5 metres out, so they did a fantastic job to get underneath him and turn that one over.
Yeah, they did. That was really good good defence in that really tight pressure situation. So now they've managed to clear it out of there, and they'll get the throw at this line out. They've done a good job too. Bloranda's got a good throw. He hits his targets really well. And he does again. Might not have been straight, but it was juggled there. Cluck not able to quite take it, but it goes to ground. And now Taroona have won that, I think, in the hands of Harrison with a good run. Now the ball comes out, and Rickard Daniel busting through. Eves goes wide. Kazarine's there. He sees outside him McConaughey, who's enjoying getting his hands on the ball. And they've got numbers out wide here. Davis Reed takes it, gives it to Blowfield, but Glenorchy's quick defence gets over and shuts that down, and they turn it over. Taroona going off their feet there to seal that ball. So the cover defence in those last 10 metres of Glenorchy proving to be powerful again. Whoa, big kick over there, nearly lands on the head of a unknowing supporter with plenty of bling on his wrists. Glenorchy doing a great job here in their last defensive line, but Taroona just actually causing some problems at that line out. They've worked out how to stop those throws to Cluck at the front there. It's sort of all that Glenorchy's got. Nice tackle there from Lovell on Davis Reed. And now Dewingham's got a little bit of space, and it makes it look like he's got a lot, but it's well picked up in there. Good steal by Aaron Lovell, but coming back for the knock-on at the line-out, I think, by Glenorchy. So disappointment there for them. Okay, he's just become a little bit unsettled. And Taroona, after having 10 minutes and scoring 4 tries and looking like the game was theirs, really just looking a little bit shaky at the moment. Haven't been able to find some space out on the wings like they did early in the game. Eves goes blind. Holmes is not quite with him, but he gets around Smith easily. Now, just got to look out here. Holmes with a nice little swerve. Just taken in a great tackle by Lovell. Dishes it off to Watts, who's taken just short of the line.
Wow. That is a try, surely.
And I think he'll a try. It'll be interesting to see what Evans has to say here.
He is allowed to roll for and it is.
Okay, so great communication there from the assistant referee and the referee.
Just good work from Scotty Evans again to notice the space and use his footwork and silky hands to create the space and put Robbie over or put Robbie through.
Yeah, and it was a good run in the end there by Holmes too. Great tackle by Michael Lovell in defence. Holmes was pretty slippery, and he did do a pretty good job to make some space and almost got past him, but the ankle tackle pulled him up. And then Watts was just, I think, the try scorer there, who got very close and was able to put it over the line.
Again, just the support lines from Taroona, getting them over.
Smith, that halfback for Glenorchy, is going to need to be especially vigilant in keeping an eye on Eves around those scrums. He's very, very elusive, Eves. Smith's quick, and he's a good defender. He's just got to make sure he's switched on. I think in that case there, he wasn't quite in the right defensive position to be able to defend that kind of move. And he just probably can move away from the scrum a little bit when there's a big blind like he had there, just to give himself a bit of space so that Eves isn't going to be able to easily duck around him like he did. Taroona with another 5-pointer. Go ahead, 29-7. And kick from Lovell's a nice high one. Eddington will take it on the chest. And he loves to have a bit of a run. Dishes it off to Watts as he goes around there. Taroona come into the ruck, support nicely. And Kazarine not sure who to give it to. And ends up with a nice little pop past to Blowfield. He's got to be careful there, moving his body around on the ground, not to roll too far. Cluck comes up with that shooting defensive position from outside. Very much off his feet over the ball there, and he'll be penalised. It was a great pressure there from, I think it's, not sure who that is over the ball. Taolava in the end there. He couldn't stay on his feet though. He got himself into a pretty strong position. But ended up with his hands on the ground and illegally. Kazarine with the chip kick. We'll take it around the halfway mark. A few minutes to go. So Taroona now on the halfway mark with the line out. Great view here over the shoulder of Michael Evans, the assistant. And knocked on there by Lean. Wasn't a bad throw, just couldn't quite get his fingertips to it. It's just a bit high. Bit high there from Lean possibly. Good shoulder to shoulder contact. And Lean then ended up under there and wasn't rolling out of the way. Lovell has a look, goes a quick tap. Straightens up, solid contact in there. And stripped out, but once the man's gone to ground, you've got to release that ball. And Watts, just too much contact on that ball, pulling it out. With only a few minutes to go. Glenorchy looking to push deep. They like this tap. They've only had one scrum and they lost it. Nice fend there from Aaron Lovell. They've got to go low on him. No one does. Eventually, somebody takes him around the legs. I think it was Watts possibly. And Michael Lovell. These Lovell brothers, once they decide they need to put some points on the board, it's pretty hard to stop them. And they pop up everywhere. Ball goes out wide to Searle. Oh, and some good defence, but there's players out wide, and luckily that pass, I think, went backwards. Although the referee's not certain, he just wants to check with the assistant. And yes, the pass in that tackle went back.
Taroona have to be careful here. This is Glenorchy love walking up the field like that. A couple of penalties, and they love those one-out hard runs. And if you're not willing to tackle them, they'll punish you for it.
Yeah, I think in some ways too, like Taroona were back and ready for the tap there. Glenorchy have just decided it's obvious that for them, the quick tap when they're in their attacking half is going to be their option. But I just think that Taroona, need to be switched on to those quick taps and not just presume it's like a training drill where the other team's going to do something predictable, because Glenorchy are anything but predictable. Lovell enacting his pre-kick ritual. He's a pretty likely chance from here. He's a very good kick, very accurate. Distance not a problem from where he is. Kicks Kicks through it, and it's good. So great solid kicking, and that will be half time. So Glenorchy coming in now at 12 points, just behind Taroona on 29. 14, sorry. Having 2 converted tries with great kicks by Lovell. After Taroona put on 4 tries in very quick succession, Glenorchy were reeling and have managed to come back a little bit and narrow that gap, which was certainly 24-0 at one point, about 20 minutes into the game, was looking pretty dangerous for them. So great resolve shown from the Stags, and they'll be looking to come back with the sun behind them in the second half, and led by the Lovell brothers, Michael and Aaron. They will be looking to narrow this gap and hopefully come from behind to pip a Taroona who were looking very dangerous early but have sort of faded a little bit towards the end of that half. We will be back shortly with the second half. And we're back. So, players are refreshed as much as they can be after their halftime break. Glenorchy have the kickoff. And they've got a few points to make up, 15 of them. And the ball goes back. Jewendom with the sun in his face. Lovell knows what he's doing, but so does Jewendom. And now they come to the right, looking for some space, but the cover defence is easily there. And Lean throws it back into Noble, who recovers that ball. And it looks like they've turned it over with the counter ruck. So Glenorchy starting off very ferociously. Taroona complacent. Lovell goes around, hits Eddington and has a bit of a standoff, but ends up being taken down. Papera passes to Aaron Lovell. Oh, look out.
Ooh, instant yellow, is it?
Yellow card, I think, I don't know, it might have been a bit harsh on Holmes. He was pretty much had the ball passed into his face or straight at him where he was standing. And however, he probably put himself there on purpose to try and shut that down. And and Glenorchy now tails up. One man up on the field and deep in attack. Jumbo Hart now with the throw in, and the ball gets popped, but Taroona win it. Eves boots it downfield, and Hart unable to take it and knocks it over the line. And Taroona will get the throw. So disappointment there for Leroy after a cracking tackle on Ish Jewendom. We heard, I think they could hear it over at Edie Street, that tackle. I think Leroy popped his shoulder out, but he's had that tape back up and ready to rumble, and he's back on the field. He was only off for a few minutes, not even off for a few minutes, just standing at the sideline for a few minutes having it fixed. So he's a tough character, and that ball goes to Lean easily, and he pops it back to Eves. So Taroona with the slow take out of there. Davis Reed hasn't played a lot of rugby, holds onto it nicely. Good tackle in the end from Williams, and Taroona's support arrives. There's a very late tackle on Kazarine. Ooh, solid tackles on Kazarine and Lean simultaneously there by Glenorchy. Thought that looked pretty late on Kazarine, but he got up and shook his head and had to go back in. So great defence there by Glenorchy. And they're on fire, Glenorchy. Taroona now just, again, this slow approach from Taroona is giving Glenorchy a good chance. Ball's going to come to Papera. Takes it well above his head, gives it off to, yucky pass. Can't believe I just said the word yucky, but anyway, off we go. Smith gets in. That's not a bad option too with the chip. Jewendom doesn't know where it is. Where's it going to bounce? Manages to gather it and get the kick away. That was a really, really nice kick from Smith. Like that high kick, no one back there. Unfortunately, the chasers weren't quite there from out wide. But excellent work there from Josh Smith to see that gap. Pretty good effort there from Ish Jewendom too on that bounce. We saw earlier in the game a rotten bounce against Kai Searle. Saw Matthew Noble score a try. Sure Sam Cluck would have loved a rotten bounce in that situation with the ball to bounce back towards him. Lovell running backwards. Gives it off to Williams, who chips it. Jewendom knocks it backwards when he tries to take it, and there's a bit of room out here now. He gets back around Williams, but the support's got him. Davis Reed hangs on to it. That's a good option. Needs to take that into contact now, and Taroona go to the ruck. Eves needs to get out quickly. There's no one on the blind side where he was looking, so they throw it wide to Loper. And Glenorchy's defence holding resolute. Just had a ball land on top of our heads nearly from the other field. And now Eddington with a breakaway run. He gets inside. He's hard to take down. He's going to make it all the way. He shrugs off and scores. That is an amazing solo try to Jordan Eddington. Glenorchy will be really disappointed because they had Taroona on the back foot. And Taroona again have managed to turn it around, and just some poor defence there in the back line. Michael Lovell, who ended up making that tackle at the end there, had Jordan Eddington just sidestep him blind about 20 metres earlier. And Eddington is a hard man to take down, and that was a very, very good individual try.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Taroona maybe just going a little bit too laterally beforehand, but brilliant solo effort from Jordan Eddington. Fantastic.
And that'll be a big dent in Glenorchy's start to this half, because they were really looking good. They've got a couple of players coming off now too. Leroy Hart's stretching out. Whether he's cramping or not, I'm not sure. I think we're going to see Taolava coming from the field possibly as well. He'll be replaced by, looks like Shea Hart coming on. So a couple of substitutions for Glenorchy, and Taroona pushing that lead out now to 22 points.
On come James Holman.
Well, it's good to see James back on the field. He's had some time to recover after being absolutely destroyed in a try-saving tackle by a Burnie player a few weeks ago, back in round 1.
Yep, round 1.
Yep. So he's had 3 weeks off, and Holman, as he loves to do, gets his hand on that kick, and away he goes. Taroona flick it around to the blind side. Watts gives it back to McConaughey, who finds Daniel, and now Holman making some ease. A great tackle in there by Glenorchy. Not sure, Cluck underneath there, and that's what they need to do, chopping those Taroona runners down at the legs and pushing them back behind the gain line, so that they're running, so that they're moving backwards and not being able to get in front of the ball. Ball comes wide from Loper to Blowfield. Bit of a high attempt there by Papera. Luckily, no contact made. And Loper with that ball in one hand, dishes it off. Good popping away here. Eddington now with the ball. Lays it back, taken by Eves, and they go left. Ball pushes in behind. Again, some solid tackles by Glenorchy, but Rickard Daniel now breaks through. Just slowed down enough by Searle, and we might see a yellow card here. That's intentional, cynical play, no. And another one with a player offside. Whoa, Cluck lucky there not to be sent to. So we've got Holmes off for an intentional knock-on at the moment for Taroona. Very deservedly so. He's looking at me. I know, they nearly hit you in the face.
Penalised for a Falcon.
And Glenorchy lucky to get away with that in that situation. Very much on the back foot. And player there putting his hands on the ball and going off his feet. But they've been pretty good, Glenorchy. Like, their discipline's been good in this defensive situation. They haven't given away too many, and that's why they've been able to get away with that one, because you know, they've not been giving away too many. So there's a bit of tolerance for that. Ball goes up to Lean. Will they go to a maul? They do. Drag down, not illegally.
Oh,
and Cluck's on off his feet. We've got to see a yellow card here. Cluck's off his feet there and hitting the ball out of a player's hand. Taroona have got the advantage. Ball goes to Holman, and he scores. So Cluck's probably lucky he'll get away with that in this situation, because the try. No, he's going to call him too. No, can't complain about that one. It was desperation, though. I don't know. Sam Cluck's out there sort of trying to defend himself, I think, but the sitting on the ground and hitting the ball out of a player's hand when you're offside is pretty hard to defend. But again, good defence down there by Glenorchy. It's a shame, though, for them that they've had to do a lot of it.
Well, they've been starved with the ball the last few minutes, haven't they? And
yep.
I'm sure they'll
Yeah,
be
they
looking
have.
to
And when they've had the ball in hand, they've been very dangerous. So they just need to keep an eye on that. I think Glenorchy, if they can maintain possession, they're going to put some more points on the board. And love to see it.
Yeah, they've been kicking well, but maybe that's not the option if they're not getting much possession.
Kazarine hits the post, no points. All right, Lovell will come back here with the kick. Where's he going to go this time? He's just, when he kicks the ball, he's got the ball on a string. It's amazing where he can put it and exactly where he wants it. He'll have a look around on the way back and see where there may be a weak link in Taroona's setup. They're pretty well spread. They've got forwards all the way across the field. So Matthew Brocklehurst on the field there for Taroona in the front row. And Glenorchy just on the back foot in defence there. Kazarine moving forwards good. He's got Cody Hall. Just need to be careful with a bit of a possible high shot there. Did put his body height down and it was nothing dangerous. It's hard when you run into the tackle of your opposition. Holman hitting the ball at speed. And some great hands out there by Taroona. McConaughey now throws it back but doesn't hit anybody. And it's taken back there by Chris Russell, who cops one over the shoulder as he goes down. Someone down in backfield for Glenorchy.
I believe that's Jesse Hasty.
Jesse Hasty, yeah. He's back on his feet though now and looks okay. Dewindham goes wide infield to Blowfield. Hasty put on the chase. Blowfield will have a go here. Gets past. Oh, really needed to pass there after making the break, getting around Papera. He needed to hit Matt Noble on the outside. Some good hands in here from the big fellas from Taroona. And Eves picks it up, has a look to the right, and there's no end. And Zach Lovell just stands there and has a look. Nothing's on. And the try is scored by Noah Kazarine. I'm not sure what what Aaron Lovell was doing. He sort of threw his hands up in the air. Watch it here on the replay. He I don't know, he looked like he threw his hands up in the air like he thought there was something illegal happening in there, but...
Was he calling obstruction maybe? Or?
I don't know. Certainly didn't look like there was anyone near him, but maybe something else happened. I didn't quite catch it. But he was very flat-footed, and Eves just had a huge gap in front of him, and then was able to link up with Kazarine to put on another try. So Taroona with a few in a row. While Kazarine takes the kick here and makes it. Just a bit of another shout out to Theo Hart. As I described him before, the best of the Hart brothers out here having a conversation with Sam Cluck, who's on the naughty chair for a pretty cynical bit of play. Desperation though. So Glenorchy scoreboard not really showing how close this game is at all.
No,
Glenorchy
been quite unlucky really, haven't they, with Taroona capitalising on some small breaks and good support lines, but
yeah, there's certainly a lot of positives for Glenorchy. They've had some really great pressure situations, and then Taroona have managed to probably 3 times turn defence into a try, and that's made it quite difficult for Glenorchy, and certainly going to make it hard for them to keep up. And Daniel now, his body goes faster than his legs and he nearly falls over. And Holman knows he's gone around, I think, and run behind his teammate accidentally.
Harry. Tell them they just got to be with everyone up in that line and kick off, man. Too loose, too broken.
Here, Sam Cluck sitting there talking to his bench right in front of our effects mic. Picked up very nicely there. You can hear the discussion. Okay, Glenorchy now with an opportunity. Lovell's been pretty dangerous when he's taken the ball to the line and run across field. It's really found some gaps on the outside. Just needs Hart maybe on this side to really run a nice straight wide line to pick up a cutout pass. But Taroona's scrum here, way too strong for Glenorchy. And Glenorchy pretty much just collapsed underneath there, which gives Taroona a really good opportunity now to turn this around. Hart, having taken the field after Davis Reed had a rest, flung to the ground and gets back to his feet like a cannonball. Not that cannonballs have feet, mind you, but oh, bad pass going back there. Lean will come back on it. There is an advantage. Searle, good pressure. Smith all over that. Well stolen. I'm not going to come back, I don't think, for the advantage from the penalty from the scrum, but now Glenorchy with the ball. Oh, smother. That was a solid smother. And the ball's fallen the way of the Stags. Now we'll have another go. Smith, Aaron Lovell. Shapes to kick, and he does. Jewindham on his toes. Great wraparound from Matt Noble. And a nice pass too to find Eves. They just can't stop this man, except when he does that. Was that forward, I think, with a really nice tackle. So he did well to read Eves' body position in that case. Well done, Ryan. No, it was Michael Lovell. Actually, I think Ryan may not be on the field. No, I'm not sure if Ford is on the field at the moment. Oh, yeah, he is. He's on the far side. Good to see Ryan back this year. I haven't seen him playing rugby. I know he's had some injury issues, but nice to see him back in the black at the Stags.
Yeah, seems to be moving quite well and tackling quite well.
Yeah, he's made some good. Oh dear, made some good defensive tackles in that last line particularly. So the knock on coming there from Glenorchy, and then I think knocked on as well by Taroona at the base of that ruck. So Taroona now, if ever you've seen a situation where a club's going to try for a pushover try, I think now is that time. Really dominated Glenorchy in the very few scrums that we've had. So Taroona only knocked it on the ball on a few times. I don't think, yeah, certainly we've only had a handful of scrums across the whole game.
Yeah.
And the couple that Glenorchy have had, they've been pushed off it, and Taroona have won it. So I do expect we'll see something similar this time.
Yeah, especially seems Stags are missing their tail gunner, missing the number 8 or number 6, whatever they've chosen.
Sam Cluck, who's over here. Yep, they've had to go one down. And there we go, Taroona, so driving forward. And the ball taken by Daniel, who gets the easiest of tries in the end there. Glenorchy, Taroona, I think, pushed a couple of backs around to that far side, and then the Glenorchy backs ran around to try and defend, being a man down. And, yeah, Daniel was just able to pick that ball up and fall over untouched. So another try there to Taroona. Pushes that score out now. It's a real blowout, 53-14 with the conversion from straight in front to come. While Kazarine's taking his time here, we'll check the scores around the place behind us. Harlequins are still on 3. And the Bulls are on 45. So it's a bit of a competition here between Devonport and Taroona as to who can get the highest score. Currently, Taroona have that, but they're not winning by quite as much. Burnie and Launceston in a tight tussle. Launceston 12, Burnie 10. So only 2 points in it. Up there at Emu Park, up at Burnie, I believe. That match is being played. And the final match, other than the one we're watching down here, is the match down at University of Tasmania in Sandy Bay, where the UTAS team are on 3 and Hobart have their noses in front by a little on 14. So not too late for UTAS to come back there, but looking pretty tough. Lean, oh dear! Lean's taken out in the air by Lovell, and we'll probably see a yellow, if not a red card in this situation. Very dangerous play to come under someone and take out. Only a yellow, right. Okay.
I think it's fair if he'd fallen and landed on his head.
Yeah.
But it is dangerous. It's incredibly dangerous.
Just a yellow. He got up and apologised immediately. It's aggressive. And look, Glenorchy are playing an aggressive game. I understand that. But that kind of stuff is pretty dangerous. He's pretty lucky to just get away with a yellow.
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional. I think it was just maybe a lapse in thinking for a second.
It's always tricky in those situations when you're running in to put pressure on and the player jumps, because if you do commit to that, it makes it very difficult when they jump to avoid that kind of contact. So it's a shame, but yeah, we could see immediately on from Lovell that yeah, he was certainly not intending to do that. He's played a great game too.
Very
it's
strong.
A shame. He'll hopefully we'll get to see him back on for another 10 minutes later.
I actually like him at number 8, opposed to in the centres as he was last year. Very strong ball runner.
Is that so if you're playing, you don't have to tackle him so much out there?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Oh! Far out. We're getting silly now. It's just getting lazy. Deary me. And again, it's just that laziness, getting tired, and you know that high shot. You can tell again, Hart with the tackle over the shoulder, very high, and tried to prevent him from hitting the ground too hard.
Deon, you got any more chairs?
We had 3 from Easts on there before, at once, all at once.
No, it's not, because we're sitting there saying it, and no one wants to come out and defend. Aaron is saying we shouldn't be running across the fucking field to cover.
Nice little bit of banter going on between me and the sideline. Talking about the yellow cards. There've been plenty of this game. As I said, we had 3 at once in the East's game, and there's now 2 players from Glenorchy on there. But it's their passion, and we know, you know, this is a contact sport, and it just does happen sometimes when you're trying to get your team out of a bit of a rut. Those things can happen. Fortunately, no one's been hurt, but we will see a bit of a different game now, with Glenorchy being 2 players down. Great work in there from Smith. And Glenorchy there able to milk a penalty out of that, so good work. It was a really good job by Josh Smith under there to get that ball and get some support around him. And Taroona really, again, just being lazy at that breakdown. Let's try and pick who the substitution is. Number 5, oh no, it's Chris Russell in the headgear with the red ring around it. I didn't recognise him, thought he was new. Holman needs to let that go now, that's a penalty. So it was just a bit late. The knee clearly hit the ground before he pulled that out. Good intent there, but yeah, it was pretty clearly a penalty. And Lovell will kick and give Glenorchy an opportunity for a line out right in front of their bench.
And Glenorchy will love this if they can spend the next 10 minutes down 2 players, but played in the Taroona half, then that'll suit them well.
Absolutely. I think while they're in possession, I agree, they're going to relish this opportunity. And we've seen it plenty of times, this club particularly, when they're down like this, they all lift. And ball goes to Hart at the front. Stolen from him though, And Kazarine goes, oh, no one back. Yes, there is. Kai Searle. Have a run, Kai. Go around the open side. No, he boots it. And he's going to find Dewindham underneath that with the sun in his eyes. Dewindham has Aidan Cannell, who's just come onto the field outside him.
Of course they put you on when I go off, mate. That's it, Josh. Get across.
And now Taroona just, again, making some metres up the middle.
And Taroona have the numbers on the right side, so...
Oh, look out! Oh, Daniel, I thought you'd see him getting hammered by there. Two of the Hart brothers, Jumbo and Shea, coming up really quickly in that line. Again, showing great intent. And it looks like there might be a turnover down there. Yep.
I think Ricard should have passed that to Maddie.
Nearly now Fahu. And he's got a breakaway. Holmes is back on. Is he going to get him? He just... Oh, great dish off to Smith. Smith needs some help and he gets it. And he's done a really good job there, Josh Smith, to hold that up. Some offside players from Taroona in the backfield. And Glenorchy have got numbers. How you have an overlap of 3 players when you're 2 down, I don't know. But Ryan Ford puts on the afterburners and he's over. There it is. As we said, they always lift, and somehow, being 2 players down, they've created a 3-man overlap on that wing. And an excellent, excellent try to Ryan Ford in his game today. We were saying before he's defended well. Well, that try was really good, and it's great to see him pin his ears back.
That was fantastic, wasn't it? It's good to see him take them on the outside and trust his wheels.
Absolutely. And really, that started there by a great break up the sideline from now Fahu, who he's played a pretty solid game, but to be able to make a nice break this deep into the game, be very tired, not had a lot of time to have a rest. Now Glenorchy putting some points back while they're 2 men down.
Good work, Ryan.
As much as we've seen some pretty flashy work from Taroona with some of their tries, they lapse every now and then. I think they fall back into sort of almost a training pattern where they forget that the other team's not going to play by the same rules that they want them to. Kick to come. Lovell out very wide. It's a nice strike. Looks straight too. And, oh, close. Just goes wide. Great kick there from Lovell. Good effort. Not quite enough though. Stays at 55-19. Just such a nice strike of the ball.
Yeah, he seems to make good contact with the ball every time he kicks, doesn't he?
Does he? Once just his hips move through the ball, as he lands after having kicked it, his body is progressed through where that ball is. Just such a nice routine. Kazarine with the kick. It's short, just high. Oh, Holman not quite able to get it and knocks it on. Sure, I didn't see what happened there. Taroona pushing someone out of the way. Smith takes the kick, yep. And Lovell shimmies, probably cops a little bit of a high one from Eddington as he's going down there. And Glenorchy pushing the ball out wide. Here they go again. Have they got numbers out there? They do, but well tackled there. I think Hall and Smith picks it up, grubbers through. Probably wasn't the right move then, but he chases really well. Just can't grab hold of Dewindham, who chips it. Searle covers it nicely. And, oh, that's great work by Dewindham. Bad luck there. That ball was definitely knocked on. Searle dropped that ball and it hit the ground before he kicked it, but it hasn't been spotted. And we've got just a stoppage here for some substitutions. Certainly looked like Searle, in attempting to kick that ball, dropped it and it hit the ground first.
Yeah, it was pretty close. You can forgive thinking it came off the boot in that situation.
So Loper coming off for Taroona, replaced by Smith, who's at a rest. And a nice line-out win there to Taroona. Eves to Kazarine. He's looking for Holmes on his inside. No, Hall. Push it wide. They're going to spread it wide this time. George Chaperon Tucker now on the field with a nice little step. He needs to get away from the line, as he does. Pretty poor attempt to tackle there from Papero, who just chucked his shoulder out. Ooh. And now Lovell's away, but no good. And disappointment just gives it a bit of a tap out. So a nice run there by George Chaperon Tucker, who's still down off on his back. Stolen illegally in that ruck by Glenorchy.
I think he's quite good friends with some of the Glenorchy boys, so they've been after him today. And they've been excited for him to come onto the field. So.
And Taroona opt for the kick to the line. And we'll have a line out nice and close. Just turn down the effects mic while some of the people in front of it have their interesting conversation. And Glenorchy have won that ball. Great work.
It's really guilty of just maybe pushing some offloads and some loose carrying.
Bubble back. No one back on that line, but Dewington covers it nicely. And he's looking for someone when he actually could just go himself. There's no one chasing that kick. And he'll run into Aaron Lovell. No, he won't, because Aaron's got him covered in the end, though. And Cody Hall just drives through there to secure that ball for Taroona, who push it. The tempo's just dropped a little here.
Both teams get
good counter ruck there from Glenorchy, but manages to pop out on Taroona's side. And Taroona managed to steady and get that ball back. Player down in the middle of the field in Taroona colours. It might be Blowfield. Oh, weird floppy pass there. No, it's Eves down in the middle who wants a sub. So I'll probably see Davis Reid come back on.
Probably push Noah Kazarine into 9.
Davis Reid into 3.
Where can't he play?
That's
the question.
Right. I haven't seen him since he's cut the locks off. He had the dreadies last year, and
yep.
So Eves has had an exceptional game for Taroona. Scored a couple of tries very early on and instrumental in a few others. He directs them very well, so he's coming off.
Hopefully nothing too serious. I know he does have some crunchy ankles at sometimes, so
yep.
Hopefully it's just a bit sore. And
I'll have to say, you can see Smith with the ball at the moment there for Glenorchy. He's really lifted his game in the last sort of 20 minutes too. He's really trying to make something happen. I know that kick through didn't quite work for him before. He had pretty good chase, but he's trying to make something happen, and that's it's really good to see. And that's those are the kinds of things that'll see Glenorchy put a few more points on. We've still got 7 odd minutes to go, and with Davis Reid there, I think Smith's going to have definitely a pace over him. Oh, Davis Reid there going high on Lovell and not able to take him. Wakefield gives it back to the other Lovell. And good pop there, Wakefield again. So Lovell, Wakefield, Lovell, Wakefield, Lovell. Good drive there on him, on Lovell again. And Taroona put the pressure on. Now Fahu then drives through that ruck with the ball. And lucky to not get away with sealing that one off. Smith just runs backwards there and is going to get cut down, but manages to dish off to Cluck, who's got some space in front of him. And look, he finds Searle outside him. And, just hang on. No, not able to hang on to Searle. And he's going to score. No, his opposite number, Dewington, pulls him back. But in the end, they do get over. And it's forward for a second try.
You were just talking about him, Smith. Managed to get that offload and created the space on the outside.
Absolutely.
Great work from Kai. That was a strong run.
Absolutely. He managed to... He popped that ball off. You could just see it to forward on the side there. Just managed to offload it as he was being flung back. I thought Dewington was going to get him to the ground, which he did, but it's a great work by outside backs out there. All started, though, by Lovell, Wakefield and Lovell bursting up the middle and just cutting Taroona to shreds.
Just that one-on-one tackle. I think it started with Aaron Lovell with that huge hit on.
Yeah, Davis Reed didn't get his body height down and ended up with a shoulder to his head.
He's not the guy you want to be going shoulder to shoulder with.
Not I, no. So Lovell now, chance to close this to 19 points. No, 29 points. Oh, and behind us there's some whistles being blown. Getting a bit feisty. Harlequin's being told to march back, please. And Taroona, 31-point lead here. Glenorchy have definitely showed promise, and again, the score difference is not a true reflection of how close this game is. Taroona's tries, a lot of them have just come from deep in defence where someone's produced something a little bit special or even a little bit of luck. Good work in there, I think, by Holmes, Cannell to put some pressure on. Now Fahu being driven back now.
Yeah, I think if Stags can manage another try or two, that's a huge moral victory.
Absolutely.
For them moving into next week. And same for Taroona. I think if they don't score again before the end of the game, they'll be disappointed.
Yep. Safe hands of Jewindham back there. Finds Davis Reed. He'll want to pass quickly. He does. They've got plenty of support out there. Holmes not able to take that one above his head, though.
That's unfortunate.
And deemed forward.
So we'll see again. Ruben McConaughey's been on the field for. Has he been on for the whole game?
I think he might have. I think he might have been on for the whole game. We've seen rotation through the other front rowers. I don't know. He may have had a rest at one point.
Taroona will be looking to get this ball back now. They've been strong in the scrum all day, and hopefully they can do the same again now. But Glenorchy look keen.
They do, and they won't want to turn this one over. They'd love another opportunity here with the ball in hand, because when they've had it the last 10 minutes, they've been very damaging. And they get it back. Lovell under pressure from Cannell. He flicks it off to Smith. Smith gets around and gives it to Ford, who scored a couple. Grubbers it through, but it's out on the full. So disappointment there. Not a bad option, but I can tell you now, Ish Jewindham at fullback for Taroona's covered very well today. They've not been able to get the ball past him very often. Likewise with Kai Searle. He did have that nightmare bounce from the kick through from Eddington earlier on where Noble scored a try, but other than that, which was totally out of his control, he's had a great defensive game back there too.
Yeah, I think bounces like that just look at the draw, really, aren't they?
And you hate them. Lovell with a big dummy. Gets past Kazarine, is hung on to just. Cannell just hangs on with one hand. Lovell throws that ball away, and it comes to Papera with a big run, and I think Taroona might be over that. They are, and they've turned it over.
Well, that's unfortunate.
But Hall underneath there, just in the wrong place, didn't roll away. So it's a good work over the top there, but if you're tackling player or the player off his feet doesn't roll, you're just going to lose it every time. And we might have some offside play here. Smith having a go. Whoa! Runs into a solid hit there from James Holman. He'll be right. He'll bounce back up, Will Smith. And they got numbers out wide. Nice little pop around there. Goes wide to Hart. Chaperone Tucker misses him. He steps back inside. Taken by Blowfield, but gets the ball off to Papera. Someone's got to take him down. They managed to get him to ground. And now Lean getting out of the way. Williams very close now, just being held up.
This is exciting stuff from Glenorchy.
Absolutely, when they throw this ball around, throw their arm. Very good. Hart now, no one behind him though. Got back to his feet, not held. And dodgy pass. Oh no, look out. We'll come back for a penalty advantage though. And there's going to be a yellow card by the look of it, I'm not sure.
I think
Not sure.
too many offsides in a row.
And that is Callum Blowfield, who's going to sit in front of us. And the try is scored. Didn't even see that they'd started playing. So Glenorchy put on another one. Taroona really need to switch back on with this last minute or two. Bit of arguing, bit of chatter going on between them, but Glenorchy, certainly in the second part of this half, it's been all their way. That's their third try in succession.
Yeah.
Taroona have managed to put on a couple, but again, against the run of play. So Glenorchy smiles on a lot of their faces. And rightly so, despite the final scoreline.
Yeah, they'll be happy with today. They started, well, Taroona started quickly and got lucky a few times, but Glenorchy have come back. They're showing that they're still up for the fight, that's for sure.
Level with the kick. Great angle there. You can see the light starting to disappear. And here he goes. Beautiful kick. Dead straight. And with that, the game is over. If you just a little bit of maths around this, Taroona in about a 10-minute period at the start of the game scored 24 points to nothing. You take away those 24 points and it's 31-all. So aside from that, I guess in some way lapse from Glenorchy in that period of the game where Taroona scored pretty easily, pretty quickly, that's 31-all. So a really great finish there from Glenorchy, and we see it from them time in and time out. They are the never say die team of this competition, and you can never ever write them off. Great comeback from them. Taroona will be, I think, disappointed with that. I don't think they'll be celebrating too hard about particularly that last 20 minutes, and a similar time, I guess, the last 20 minutes of the first half as well, when they thought they were in control. Glenorchy were really able to, put on some tries and make them, reel from their ferociousness. So, great game all up. That's it for round 4. I'll pull you the scores from the other games as I can see them, just in case you're still listening. Scores around the grounds, nothing showing as final as yet. The Bulls behind us 59-3, so they've won the highest score on this ground. Launceston have just pushed their lead out now by a converted try, 31-24 over Burnie. There might be time left up there for Burnie still to draw level. This match we've seen here, 55-31, and Utah's on 10, and Hobart Hutchins Lions on 19. So I'd expect the Lions to come away with the win there. Up in the air, though, as to what might happen between Burnie and Launceston in the last minute or two. But thanks for viewing. Feel free to watch the replays as everyone loves to do during the week. And thanks, Ollie.
No worries, thank you. It was a good day of rugby.
It was a great day, and again, some great rugby out there, and we'll see you back next week.
I'm going to breathe and run away with a cigarette.